Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Tyler McNabb and welcome back to the channel. So I'm pretty excited today because right in front of me, I have the freshly powder coated stuff for the 400. So just a reminder, we got the frame, we got the subframe, got the swing arm, got the front bumper, we got the A-arms, and we have the Nerf bars, all freshly powder coated from 834 powder coating right here in Terre Haute, Indiana. So just kind of a plug for them. If you need anything powder coated around the Terre Haute, Brazil, Indianapolis, even kind of wet Eastern Illinois area, hit up 834 powder coating, pretty good prices, and they do really good work. So anyway, got everything powder coated, and so I am going to turn this camera around real quick, show you the color I chose. If you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen it, but here we go. There it is. All black is what I ended up choosing. So I talked about that in the, I think 2 videos ago, that I kind of planned on doing all black. And so that's what I ended up going with. And some of you may think that, why the heck would you just do all black? That's so bland. But this camera will not do it justice, but this gloss black looks so good. It looks really good. Like I said, 834 powder coating did a great job, and all of this looks beautiful. Got the swing arm, the Nerfs, these A-arms. Ooh, these A-arms have never looked so fresh, because these A-arms, they are actually, let's see, they were put on by the original builder of this quad, which the original builder of this quad is actually the guy who owns Risser's Extreme ATV. He originally bought this quad off the original owner, and he built it up and put these Hauser long travel A-arms on them back in like 2006. So these are original Hauser long travel A-arms from like 2006, and they're still going strong today, other than, replacing bearings and that kind of stuff. But anyway, so yeah, I'm pretty stoked to have all this stuff back. It looks really good, and I'm really excited to get to putting this thing back together. So today, the first episode I'm probably going to focus on, I'm still waiting on a couple things to come in, so I'm not just going to jump right back into it today. It's probably not going to be a super exciting episode. I'm probably going to first and foremost, get the bearings back in the swing arm and the A-arms, and then I'll probably do some little odds and ends around the frame, maybe get the subframe bolted up, and just some little stuff here and there to get this quad prepped and ready to go. Like I said, I'm waiting on a couple things. Specifically, I am waiting on a steering stem as well as a new exhaust. I got a new exhaust coming in the mail, so that should be pretty sweet. That I don't really need until I get the engine back together and running anyway. Or the engine is together, but back in the frame. So anyway, yeah. So I think I've also decided that I'm gonna take this build a little bit slower. So if you haven't caught on by now, I'm trying to pump out a couple videos a week, and so I'm going to take these videos a little bit slower, kind of show you guys how to do some stuff, and hopefully pump out a couple, maybe not necessarily shorter videos, but probably normal length videos that I usually do, maybe in that 10 to 15 minute range. Try to do a couple of those a week instead of like super long, maybe 40, 45 minute videos that would probably happen with these. So I want to get this thing buttoned up and finished before race season. Race season starts about the beginning of March, and so I want to get this thing good and buttoned up. It's early January currently, so only thing left to do is to go ahead, get into it, and start putting this thing back together. So first thing I'm probably going to do, get the bearings pressed in, and then yeah, we'll go from there. So let's get to it. Okay guys, well, I'm gonna get started with getting the bearings in these guys. So here I have the little needle bearings. As you can see, little needles in there. These are the bearings that go inside here. There's two of them that go in each. So one goes on this side, one goes on this side, and then there's a little hole for a grease zert to be able to pump grease into these things, make sure the bearings are all good and greased up. So I got, let's see, how many would that be? It'd be 16 bearings, something like that. Yeah, 16 bearings total for the A-arms, and then I've got my bags here. These are the swing arm bearings as well. All of these parts came from Hauser directly. Here I've got all the A-arm seals, and then I've also got the dust seals and washers, and then we've got the ground hardened sleeves that go inside the bearings that the bolt goes through. So got all that stuff, got the A-arms good and ready to go. So then the only thing left to do is to get these guys pressed in real quick, and I'm basically just going to do the opposite of what I did a couple videos ago when I pressed them out. So now I'm just going to press them in. So I'll probably show you how to do, I'll go and do one A-arm, and then I'll just time lapse through the rest of them because it'll be the same thing over again. So let's get a set up on the press over there and get these bearings pressed in. Okay, so I got my A-arm here. I got a little setup I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna set my bearing in here. I'm gonna set this guy like this. And then got a little spacer here. I'm gonna try to, this is gonna be kind of fun trying to do this. Now if I can put pressure on this, so I've got it all lined up. And there you go, as you can see, it's already sliding in. I'm just gonna do this slow, make sure it's going in straight. Hopefully you guys can see this. Going in nice and easy, not forcing it. Okay, so now I just need to watch and make sure I don't go too far. I'm gonna press this bearing almost all the way down through, and then I'll show you guys. I'm basically gonna go to where the bearing edge is just past the edge of that grease zert hole, because that'll give me enough space in between. That'll give me enough space in between to be able to grease them, but then also enough space on the edge to put the seal in. So as you can see, that was pretty easy. I'm gonna let the pressure off. It's pretty straightforward. I'm gonna do the exact same thing for another one of them. Set my other bearing in, set this guy in. There we go. There we go. Just need to make sure this is centered. Got it just. There we go. I don't want to press that too hard. So now I just need to go until I see the very edge. Yeah. There we go. I think that's where I need to be. And as you guys can probably see, I got the bearings in. So if you can see here, there's the grease zert, where the grease zert will go, and there's no bearings blocking that hole, but they're also far enough in to where they're not going to impede the seal or anything. So that should be about perfect with what we need. So I'm going to do the other side now, and then we should be good to go ahead and just crank through the rest of them. So let's do it. Okay, so I got this one rigged up. I kind of tried to do it one way a little bit before, but it wasn't working, so I'm going to go to this. And I mean, if you guys don't believe me, this thing's pushing in so easy. I'm not even having to use like the bar they give you to like pump the hydraulic jack. I'm just pumping it by hand. So, yep, it's going pretty good. And it's getting a little tough, so grab the bar wherever it is. Here we have one. Now all that's left is the final one. So go ahead, get this guy sized up. Ooh, just about perfect. There we go, got good pressure, pushing it in. Oh yeah, sliding right in, pushing it down. Oh, there we go. May actually went a tad too far, but it's pretty good. As long as I got it in there. As you can see, both sides have bearings pressed in. And so it's the exact same process for both for the rest of the A-arms and the swing arm. So I'm not going to waste my time doing real-time footage with that. I'll just go ahead and time-lapse through the rest of them. And then hopefully once we do that, then we can get the seals hammered in, the dust caps on, and maybe we can slide these on the old quad. So let's get the rest knocked out. Okay, so next I'm going to go ahead and slide these sleeves into the swing arm. These had a little, well, I'll show you real quick. We've got that little paper thing in there to keep these needle bearings from falling out. So before I can put the seals and stuff in, I'm just going to go ahead and push these through. There we go. So that's in there. the same thing on this guy. Yeah, I'm gonna go this way. There we go. So now I got those guys in. So the only thing left to do is to take these seals. These seals on the swing arm actually just go on the inside because the outside has like a dust cap. So all I gotta do is put these seals on in here. I'm just gonna do that by, let's see. Here we go. That's all it took, just a little ingenuity. So now I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And there we are. We have ourselves a set of seals. We got bearings in. We got the hardened sleeves in. And the only thing left I got is the end caps. So let me grab those real quick. Okay, so I got the rest. These have these little collar spacers that slide in there. That slides in there. And then we've got these little kind of O-ring caps that slide over the edge. On top, those go on top, and then you just have the actual dust cap that goes over that. Okay, well, got it. So that took some finagling, but I eventually got those on. The sleeves in. So basically, the swing arm is set and ready to go. I guess the only thing, let me grab the grease zerts real quick and put the grease zerts back in here. Actually, I forgot. I'm not going to put the grease zerts back in. All I'm actually going to do is just put a little set screw in there, like a little plug, basically in place of it, because I actually got a brand new greasable pivot swing arm bearing. And so I'm just going to put these in. And also, I'm going to be using a lot of Loctite. You'll see me using quite a bit. This thing is red, but it's actually the blue Loctite. So it is removable. So I'm just going to put a dab of that on there. Just on the other side. There we go. So now the swing arm is ready to go. Only thing left to do would be to actually put it on the quad. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. So next thing we'll do is we'll do the same thing, seals and all that for the A-arm. So let's get to that. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the exact same thing that I did on the swing arm, just with the A-arm. So I can start with, I've got my hardened sleeves here. I will get these guys out. Maybe, there we go. These guys out, they're gonna slide in to the bearings like that. Just like that. And then we have our seals. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and press the seals in. I'm gonna do it the exact same way I just did it on the swing arm. So I'm going to press this guy right here. There we go. Got that pressed in. Now I can I was able to get it with some persuasion of the old hammer and socket. So yeah, some of these just don't want to go in super well. There's still some stuff around the edges, so that's probably why. A little bit of extra powder coat and whatnot. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and go through and just time lapse the rest of this, because it's gonna be like probably 15 minutes of me just hammering in seals. So I'm gonna time lapse through that real quick, me getting all these together, and then we'll probably go ahead and see if we can get the ball joints and stuff in. So here we go. Okay, so next thing to do would be, only thing I have left to do on the A-arms is put the ball joints in. So as you can see, these probably look a little bit different than what you're used to seeing on a four-wheeler. That's because these are a very old style Hauser A-arm. I think, like I said before, the guy who originally put them on back in like 2006. And so the style of ball joint they put in was this style, instead of the normal style that you see is like kind of a whole ball joint assembly that just presses into the bottom of the A-arm. But unfortunately, that's not what these are, but these are really good A-arms. So just trying to get them fresh again. So all I got to do is go ahead. This guy is going to slide up into the A-arm. Maybe. A lot of times it might need a little bit of persuasion because it's like a semi-tight fit, just tight enough to where it keeps it from flopping around, but at the same time loose enough to where there we are. So just need a little bit of persuasion, nothing too major though. And then the next thing to do is got a snap ring that's gonna go in there. So I'll grab one of my snap rings, grab my safety glasses as well, because you may see me wearing safety glasses every now and then on the channel. I try to wear them as much as I can. Of course, I forget every now and then, but especially when I'm working with stuff like snap rings. If you've ever dealt with a snap ring, you know that at any moment they could go flying. So if you're ever working with stuff like that, you definitely want that. And I'm gonna just want to make sure you're wearing those. And there, I think the snap ring is in. Make sure, yeah, she's good and in. So that's what we needed there. So we got that. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pack some grease in here. Or actually, yeah, I'm gonna pack a little bit of grease in there. And then it's got this cap that's gonna slide down in there and basically, you know, seal that off. And it's also got a grease zerd on the bottom of it already to kind of, so you can fill it up with grease throughout the season and stuff. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on a glove here, just so I keep a lot of my equipment free of grease. I'm gonna take some of this here, just pack it in this guy. Just make sure it's good and greased up. You never really have too much grease, because grease is your friend, especially when it comes to keeping ball joints and that kind of thing healthy, I guess, for lack of a better term. And I'm gonna take this guy. There we go. Make sure that's as far down as it's supposed to be. There's a little groove in there that I'm going to put my second snap ring inside of. So, grab my second snap ring. Get that down in there, and then I'm going to take my socket again. Just going to tap it down in there. Make sure it's fully seated. Actually not. Okay, so got the first one all together, got the snap ring in, all that fun stuff. The only thing left to do is to slide the boot on. So I've got one of those over here. And so, let's see here. Get this guy on. These are kind of some older rubber boots, but they still work, and currently they currently only one of them has a hole in it. It actually, this guy, not sure if you can see that where there was a hole, but it was a tiny crack, and I was trying to find some replacements for these guys, and that was like the only hole in this one. So other than that, they were still good. So I filled it with super glue. Just did that, and should be good to go. So I got that all filled, and then I'm just gonna get some safety wire to kind of hold these on. And once that's done, then these A-arms will be ready to go on. So I'll go through and just kind of time lapse putting together the other one, because it's the same thing over again. And then maybe shortly after we can get the A-arms on the quad. So let's get to the other one. I do put the A-arms and swing arm on, I want to do one thing to the frame real quick, and because I may need to like turn it upside down, I'm not for sure, but is put the steering stem bearing in. Well, actually, yeah, I will, to put the bottom seal in, but yeah, so I want to get the bearing in here. There's a little C-clip, and then there's a seal on top and a seal on bottom. So I'm going to put that in real quick before we go ahead and slap the A-arms and swing arm on, so let's do that real quick. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to recommend doing is take your bearing, and you can't really tell by looking at it, but it's freezing cold because I put it in the freezer. So when you do that, it shrinks, and then by doing that, hopefully this guy will, well, I was hoping it would just slide right in, but I think there may be a little bit of powder coat on the edge there, so we may just have to resort to a hammer. So let's try this. Well, there we go. As you can see, sometimes that's not the easiest. Usually I think that's a lot easier, but There's some powder coat around the edge, and if you know anything about powder coat, it actually leaves a little bit of, like, it's thicker than like paint, so it leaves a little bit. So with that, it made it harder to put in. So if you don't have to deal with that, then it'll probably go in a lot easier. But I mean, I just got a socket the same size as the outside of the bearing, and it went right in. So now I just need to put the snap ring in. Ow, there we go. Got that in. Grab my socket and hammer just to be sure. Yep, looks like the snap ring is in. So next thing to do will be to get the seal to put on here. So I'm gonna do that real quick too. Okay, so I'm gonna slide the swing arm in just to get it mocked up. And I can't like permanently tighten this or anything, so I'm not like greasing the bolt or anything, because still I'll have to take it back out before I put the engine in. So this is just kind of a mock-up, see what it looks like. And there we are. Got us a swing arm. Looking pretty good. Set that down. And then next, we'll get the A-arms mocked up as well. Well, we got a good start on the build. It was pretty slow going. It took me the better part of Saturday to get the A-arms and swing arm all buttoned up, but They are ready to go on. I don't have the bolts tightened up yet because I'm probably gonna Loctite them. I just got them mocked up for now, just to get them on there and see what they look like. So yeah, this thing is gonna be looking good here shortly. I still gotta clean up the shocks. They're still kind of dirty, so I want to get those cleaned up before I mount them. And then I need to get these guys safety wired here shortly, and then after that I'll probably go ahead and put the hubs on, put the shocks on, and yeah, get the front end buttoned up, and then we can go ahead and put the rear shock and the link and all that on next. So yeah, that's probably gonna be it for this first video. So just trying to do, I don't know, this maybe end up being a longer video. I'm not exactly sure because I got a lot of footage, but some of it I'm going to time lapse, and some of it's going to be real time. So not sure exactly how long this video was, but hopefully wasn't too long. But I'm going to try to crank out quite a few videos and work on this thing as much as I possibly can, because I want to get this thing done and buttoned up, running, ready to ride. Right now it's like it's still early January. I'd like to have it buttoned up by mid-February at the latest. So because that would give me about 2 to 3 weeks for the first race of the year. So hopefully I'd be able to get it all buttoned up and then be able to ride it a couple times just to make sure all the bolts are tight, nothing's gonna come loose. You know, quad's running good, quad rides good and everything, all that fun stuff. So anyway, yeah, it doesn't seem like a whole lot of progress, but hopefully I won't have a ton of more like tedious stuff like I did with assembling those A-arms and swing arms. So hopefully in the next video we'll see a lot more progress getting this thing going. So anyways, hope you guys are enjoying the build series. Thanks for coming and watching. I really appreciate it, because without you guys, like I've said, no reason to do these videos. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.